All right. Well, my name is Chris Dias. I have the good fortune of working on the Visual Studio Code team before Visual Studio Code became a thing. It was actually something in the browser. It's called Visual Studio Code Online, quotes in Monaco, because the country of Monaco got mad at us when we called it Monaco. They thought it was going to confuse the vacation industry with a code editor, but it is what it is. And you can see today here at Ignite this week, there's been sort of the full circle where we started in the browser, we've gone to the desktop, and now we have most of this running in the browser again. But we're going to focus on the client tools today. So I'm a program manager on the team. You can see my Twitter handle. If you feel like you have a question or something, just tweet at me, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. And for any of you old timers, this is my CompuServe ID. So I've been around here for a little bit of time. OK, so I'm going to spend most of the time actually in the tool trying to do some demos and show off different things in the product. Some are going to be tried and true tips and tricks, and some are going to try to go into different corners. Hopefully, along the way, you're going to learn something new. So here's the 8 areas we're going to go into. We're going to look at the command line, look at theming, customizing the environment the way that you really want to work. I'm going to go in settings. I'm going to go painfully detailed through every one of my settings, which is not really true, but I did put it up in a gist, and there's a link at the end of the slide, so you can go and take a look at the settings that I've got. A lot of keyboard navigation for managing and working through the keyboard. I mean, working through the Workbench and navigating your way through there. Some code editing tricks, not a ton, because there's such a wide variety of languages here. It's hard to sort of pick one to go through. Some cool things you can do with a terminal, integrated and external terminal. You will become a terminal master with tmux at the end of this. We'll do some debugging, sort of like single file, getting started to like very powerful end-to-end debugging. And try to help people sort of understand and configure that, because that's a little bit challenging, the tool. And we'll look at some the newest stuff that we've done, which is about remote development. And so we'll look at how you can take a repository that maybe you don't have all the tools set up on your machine, but you can still debug and edit it just as if it was local. All right, so from a warm-up perspective, what we want to do is I'm going to use the Insiders build. Who uses the Insiders build? Oh, man, you guys got to use the Insiders build. It's the green icon. You can get it on the download page. If you click on the little button next to download, it'll bring up a table. Click on the Insiders build. And what this is basically, it's a build that comes out every night. It's the exact same build that we use to build VS Code. So what it means is you get the latest features and bug fixes right away. And it's rarely, if ever, quote, on the floor. And even if it is, then you can use the stable build, which runs side by side. They are completely isolated from each other. And the reason we like it if people use the Insiders build, because if we do miss something in a day-to-day, and you can report it to us, and you say, boom, this is failing in the Insiders build, then we're going to turn that thing around, and it'll be ready the next day. And like I said, since we're using it, if something breaks in it, we can turn around and update and produce a build in like under 15 minutes, and it'll get pushed out to everybody in the world. The other thing we're going to do is really focus heavily on the command palette, or we're going to use that quite a bit. If you haven't used command palette, it's F1 or Command-Shift-P, or if you're on Windows, it's going to be Control instead of Command. So I'm going to say Command a lot, but it's really Control on Windows. So let's dive in and look at some cool stuff. So the first thing I want to do is actually talk about the command line. Oops. Go away. There you go. Oh, so here it is on the website. If you want to go download Insiders, you can go down here. Click on the button, download it, and you will be good to go. OK, so command line. If anybody's tried the command line, let me zoom this in a little bit so you can see. First thing you have to do, if you're not on Windows, or if you didn't check the box on the Windows setup, you can go up to the command palette, and you can say path. You say install a command inside the path, or in the path in your tool. So Code Insiders is the command line name for the Insiders build versus Code, which is the stable build. And so once you do that, it puts it onto the path for you. So then you have the ability to come in here and say, like, VS Code tricks, tips. And I can come in, I can say something like Code Insiders -H. And then I get all of the cool things that you can do from the command line. So there's a few things that I like to do. One of the neat ones, if I can say, come in here and say Code Insiders -W, and I open up file a.js, what's going to happen is it's going to open up the file, right? It opens up in VS Code, but the prompt never returned, right? So it's waiting for the file to be closed before the prompt returns back in the terminal. All right, so when I close it, then the prompt returns. It's like, wow, that's great. What is that useful for? Well, it turns out you can do things like set up your git config global to use VS Code as your editor. And so what Git is doing is actually waiting for the file to be closed that way. So you just have to run basically a git config command to pass it the editor with the -w, the wait command for it. All right, and so then when you close that, again, you come back over here, and it comes back. Another cool thing that we can do is we can say code insiders diff. So I have file A, and I have file B. And so I can use VS Code. Here, let me close that down. So I can use VS Code's built-in file diffing right from the terminal to quickly do a diff between two files on the machine, which is kind of cool. The other cool thing that I can do is, and so I do this all the time, which is code insiders dot, which is to open up the current folder, but -r. And what -r will do is reuse the current instance of VS Code that's up and running. It's not going to create a new window for you. So you don't end up basically like cluttering your desktop with multiple instances of VS Code because you've kind of opened them up quite a bit over and over again. OK, so that's basically kind of a couple of cool things that you can do from the terminal. There's a bunch of other things you can do: enable, disable extensions, do performance analysis. You can install extensions, do all sorts of things there. So try it out, code-h or code insiders-h, and you'll be good to go. You'll be a power user from the terminal. All right, so next thing I want to do is look at themes. So we'll bring up the command palette again. And there are two kinds of themes. There's an icon theme, and there is a color theme. And so you can see here, I've got a couple of icon themes installed. There's the minimal one, which has just very outline. You could actually shut them all off, which is kind of the initial way that we ship VS Code, where there were no file icons. Minimal SETI is what comes with VS Code itself, so it's kind of this mix between not too much and not too heavy. VS Code icons, which is an extension, which is super, super popular. People have gone and installed that. If you want to get additional icon themes, you can click on the link at the bottom of that list, and it'll go run a query, and you can see, all right, here's the material icon theme, which is another one which is popular. And I click on that, it's going to download it, it's going to immediately let me sort of go and pick and choose and try which one I want. So I can say, all right, well, we'll do the material icon theme. We're good to go, and now we've got material icons set up there. All right, so pretty basic stuff there. Color themes are a little bit more interesting. So if I come in here and I say color theme, I can see all of the built-in color themes that ship with VS Code. Why we have a red one, I have absolutely no idea, but it's the ugliest theme there is. And of course, I can come in here, and if I want to install additional color themes, it's going to run another query. And this is kind of where I want to take a little bit of a detour, because I think this is interesting. If you look up here in the extension view, there says categories, :themes. There's actually a query language. If you come in here and press ampersand, you can see all the different ways that you can query the marketplace. So I can see recommended extensions. I got a lot of recommended extensions. I can query by like categories. So if I want to see all of the language packs that exist in the marketplace, and if I want to say, all right, I want to sort them by the number of installs, and that's going to actually give it to me in the order the most popular language packs, and it looks like a lot of folks from China are using VS Code. So you can do all these kind of cool queries. But one of the really interesting ones is if I come in here and I say built in, this is going to actually show me a bunch of extensions which are built in or shipped with VS Code. What we try to do with VS Code is make it very extensible. It's got a very rich API. So we try to build features of VS Code as extensions. And since they're extensions and they're just shipped with the code itself, you can come in here and you can turn them on or off. So there's built-in support for Emmet, which I'll show in a little bit. You can turn that on or off. If I come in here and you see all the programming languages, this is all the basic programming, the basic language, the basic syntax and styling support for all the breadth of the languages. And you can come in here and turn these on or off. And the reason you might want to do that is you can have an extension which may conflict with the built-in experience for VS Code. So you can turn off VS Codes and just use the extension. Same thing with themes. I can come in here, and here's all the default ones that we have shipped with. And we can disable the red one, so we never see that. So we come back over to the color theme. It's no longer in my list. All right, so that's how you can kind of control what's going on and sort of clean up and tighten up the environment the way that you want it. Now, what I want to do is install my favorite one, which is Cobalt 2. Cobalt 2. Oh, there we go. Let's see, where did it go? Cobalt 2, there it is. Generic fork. I don't want that one. I want the official one by Wes. So we'll install this one. It gives me the option to pick it right away, and then that's pretty cool. I'm up and running with my theme. Now, this theme is great. I really like it, but there are a couple, 2 or 3 things that I don't actually like about it. But I want to customize them. The biggest thing here is you can see that the selected tab, the active tab, is actually dark, and the unselected ones are light. And for me, I'd rather have it the other way around. I want the selected tab to be light so I get a better visual on it. So I can, make a pull request to the repository and say, hey, can you change this? Or I can go in settings inside VS Code, and I'm going to press Command, comma, and we're going to go into our settings in a bit, but I want to just jump into one, color customizations, and show you what you can do here for a particular theme. So inside the settings, what you can do is you can actually override theme colors. There's a few hundred different things that you can set colors for. If we come in here and we hit Control Space, you can see here's all the different things that I can set colors for inside VS Code. And basically all a color theme does is sets all those colors for you. And so what you can do is you can set them up globally, so any theme picks up that. So any theme that I have is going to have this crazy blue background on the status bar. But what I can do for a particular theme itself, this one, Cobalt 2, I can actually start to override the colors that come with that. So I can make tweaks. So if we say that the active background is actually a lighter color, you can see now the active file, settings.json, shows up in a light color, so I can see that better. I don't really like the yellow underneath it. It reminds me of the Blue Angels. Love the Blue Angels, but it's a little bit strong for me. So I can turn that off. And the other thing that I do, by default, the files or folders that are ignored from Git actually show up as red in the Explorer. And to me, the red is just too bright. It looks like an error. So I can turn that off, and it's a nice light gray. So that's how I can take a theme that exists today, customize it to the way that I want to customize it. You can even go one step further. You can go create your own theme. So let's say that we wanted to say, all right, let's take this particular theme and customize it full on. I want to start with this as my base. I can go back up to the command palette. There's a whole set of commands in here called under developer, D-E-V-E-L-O-P-E-R. And if you go in and preface it with developer, you're going to see a whole set of commands, which we actually use internally for building a tool, but you can use them as well, that give you sort of ways to tweak things under the covers. So one of the things I can do is come in here and say, generate color theme from current settings. And what that'll do is it'll go pull all the settings that are there, the stuff that I customized from the theme, pull it into a JSON file, and then I can take this file and basically use it as the basis for me going out to create a new theme. And creating a new theme is actually pretty simple. There's a generator, it's called Yeoman, or a task runner in Node, it's called Yeoman, and there's a generator called code. So you say, yo code, right? We thought that was kind of fun. So we did that. And what this will do, Yeoman takes a little second to spin up here. What this will do is give me a list of things that I can go and produce for an extension. Come on, Yeoman, there you go. So I can create regular extensions, or here I can create a color theme. So we'll say, yeah, we'll create a new color theme. We'll start fresh. We'll say ignite, 2019, answer a few questions, blah, 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 ignite. It's based on the dark theme, and then I've got it going. So if I go ignite into that folder, and I say code insiders, and I'm not going to reuse this instance. I'm going to open up a new instance, so I didn't use the -r. There's my new theme that I got generated, and you can see this file, which has all the different colors in it, looks an awful lot like this file. So all you have to do is copy, paste this, come over to the one you created, paste it in there, F5, boom, you've got yourself a new theme that you can go and start to customize to make your own, publish it to the gallery. Okay, so that is theming in a nutshell. So we don't want to save that. Let's go from here. All right, so now we're in settings, right? So we've got the environment. It looks pretty the way that we want to look at it. Let's go and look at settings. Now you'll notice that whenever I pressed Command, comma, I actually jump into the JSON version of settings, not the UI version. And the reason is I actually have this setting here called Workbench Settings Editor, which has two values. One is UI, one is JSON. So if I change it to UI and I press Control, comma, I'll actually jump into the default, which is the UI for settings. And so the problem that I have is that when we started with VS Code, we didn't have the UI settings, and I got really comfortable with the JSON, so I feel much more comfortable working in the JSON so I can control it however it works. So you can come in here, and this is the kind of standard UI gestures you get. But one thing that's interesting to note is when you do a search up here in there, it's actually a natural language query search. It goes up to Bing, and it tries to find the right answer. So if I say, move to right, which doesn't, you can see there was a pause, couldn't find anything, and then the query came back. That's not really a setting, but it kind of figures out that actually, the sidebar location, which is what I always want, I can change that, and I can move it side to side, back and forth. So if you're not quite sure what you're looking for, just put in a regular natural language query, and we'll try to figure it out. OK, so let's kind of go through some of these things that are kind of interesting. So open editors, visible. Open editors is the thing up here that shows you all the different files that are open at one time. And you can control how many files show in that list. So if you see that list jumping up and down and you want it to be large or small, you can control that. Whenever I do a demo, I go to update mode. We could actually make this bigger. I set update mode to be none. And what this means is that the tool is not going to check every, I don't know, I think it's 5 minutes to see if there's an update available, because the last thing I want to have happen while I'm in the middle of a demo is have a update get in place. The same thing for extensions, because extensions will automatically check themselves for updates, and so you can turn that off. One thing, if you get prompted a lot for extension recommendations and you don't like that, there's 2 ways to shut that off. One is you can click on the gear. You can say, don't show this to me again. And the other is you can turn them off sort of, quote, permanently here by clicking on that. The biggest thing that I use is Autosave, right? So you can enable Autosave on the menu. So on the File menu, there's Autosave, so I never have to save my files explicitly. But what I can do is also control how long VS Code will wait before saving it. And so the default is 1 second, but I can come in here, I can configure it however I want. So what's interesting about that is if you've got some sort of tools that run based on file save and it's running too much and your laptop's starting to float off your lap, you can say, all right, autosave after 5 seconds or something like that. And so you get less of that interaction going on. But again, you don't have to go and actually do the save. So next thing, font ligatures. Does everybody use font ligature fonts? Everybody know what a font ligature is? Not that many people know what font ligatures are. So font ligatures are some really cool things. If you saw the Jason Zander demo keynote yesterday, Donovan showed them off. But basically, there are ways that fonts can be a little bit richer. Oh, why are you doing that? Oh, that's because I'm writing into the settings. Let me zoom in here a little bit more, because it's better when you can see that. So a font ligature is something, if I type in equal, equal, then I get a nice equal bar. If I put in 3 equals, then I get like a multi-stacked bar. So I can really see what it looks like. If I do not equal, I get the nice slash through it. So there's a few fonts that support this. Sphere Code is a popular one that you can go and install. Microsoft released one called Cascadia Code. You can put that on any desktop. It works really, really well. So you get that nice, rich view inside your tool. I've turned off the minimap. I just don't find it very useful. And so that's basically what I do. Rendering line highlight, you can see that, well, it's hard to see here zoomed in like this. But what this means is that I get the render highlight, and I also get the line numbers to show up. Indent guides will show up as well, so I can see the vertical bar as I'm moving through my file. And then rendering whitespace. Rendering whitespace has a number of different options. There's all, boundary, none, or selection. To me, all is a little bit too much. You can see there's a dot between every single word in there. That's too much for me. I use boundary, but if you do selection, then you won't see any white space until you actually do a selection. So it's a nice way to sort of be able to go in and sort of view one place and understand what the white space is if you like that. Multi-cursor modifier, I'll talk about that in a second. Editor snippet suggestions. So sometimes snippets, sometimes extensions will inject a lot of snippets, and you can see they're like a little box. You can control where those show up in the completion list. So I have them showing up at the bottom of the list. So I get a nice list, and if I go down to the bottom, which you can see down here, there's a couple of snippets that are actually installed or showing up at the bottom. So I get them out of the way. I know where they are if I want to go find a snippet, but my completions kind of stay clean. The other thing that you can do here is a feature that we added, I guess it was in the last year, was copy and paste with syntax highlighting. Right? And so if I come in here and I think it's on by default, if I come in here and I just copy this whole block of code and I go over to something like Word or email and I paste it in, I get sort of that whole syntax. But since I have a dark theme, I get the dark theme behind it, right? And that's not really what I want most of the time when I'm pasting in code. And so you have the ability to actually turn this off. So I come in here and I say false, and I go copy these lines of code again and come back over here to Word, paste it in. I get sort of the old behavior. So you can control that as well. Scroll beyond last line false. So if I go down to the bottom of a file, I won't go past the bottom of the line of the file itself. You can turn that off so that the last line actually comes across the top. One other interesting thing that I actually did not even know, you can hold down the Alt key. And if you hold down the Alt key and you scroll, you're going to scroll super fast, right? So I'm like rolling 2 or 3 clicks with my mouse, and I can go top to bottom on that particular file. But you can go and control that. Let me see where we are. We can control the speed at which that moves. So if you have like large log files and you want to scroll down on the bottom of them, you can hold down the Alt key, boom, you can be right down at the bottom very, very quickly. A couple other things in here. Default location of the panel is at the bottom. So like if I bring up the terminal, that all happens at the bottom of the environment. But I can change this to actually be on the right-hand side as well. So this is good if I've got a very wide screen. Let me reload the environment to show you what that looks like. So now if I bring up the terminal, you can see it actually comes up on the right-hand side. And problems, pane, and all that stuff comes up on the right. So if I've got a very wide terminal, I can take advantage of all that real estate. But in this setup, I don't. So we're going to go back to the bottom. OK, a couple other things. Close empty groups. If I have multiple groups of editors open, and I close all of them in one of them, instead of having that group go away, so if I got my desktop aligned the way that I want, it'll stay open. Let's see. My last favorite one is the Workbench tips enabled faults. So if you come in here and you start up VS Code, and let me zoom back out because it only shows up when it's zoomed out, you notice that I don't have those command keys on the desktop or on the background. And I turn that off because I like to have sort of this clean desktop that I'm working in. So you can do that by, oops, I changed that to, you can do that by changing Workbench tips enabled to false, and that'll shut that off. So again, you can customize the environment just the way you like. OK, so that's probably enough of that. Let me go back and set that up, and let's keep on going. The next thing I want to do is sort of look into navigation. All right, and so this is navigating of the Workbench. And the first thing I want to do is turn on something, because we're going to do a lot of key combinations and key binding here. The first thing I want to do is turn on something called Screencast Mode. It's another developer tool, developer toggle Screencast Mode. And when I click on that, what happens whenever I press something like F1, you'll actually see the little bar come up, and you can see the key that's being pressed. Now, this is great if you're doing like screencasts or you're trying to create videos or something like that. And for a demo, it helps to kind of see what's going on. OK, so this is the hardest part of the demo, because there's a lot of key binding to do. I do have a little bit of a cheat sheet. You're going to have to give me cut me some slack on it if I don't get it quite right. OK, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start up with a command palette. Now, I've been pressing Command or F1 or Command-Shift-P, and I come up and I can have access to all the commands in the environment. But if you come in here and you hit backspace, it says type question mark to get help on the actions you can take, and I press question mark, you can actually see a set of commands that you can use to manage or navigate through the entire environment, right? So I can come in here and I can say, all right, well, I want to see all of the open views. And these are all the views that I've got in the tool, right? So the Explorer view, the source code control view, a debug. And if I want to jump over to one, I can quickly jump over to it like that, right? But that's, it's a little bit sort of cumbersome to be doing it through the command palette. We can actually use key bindings to do that. The first one is Command B. So if I do Command B, it basically toggles the visibility of the sidebar on the left and the right-hand side. If I do Shift Command D, that's going to bring up the debug view on the left-hand side. Shift Command E will bring up the Explorer. Shift Command F will bring up Find or Search. Right? So we had D, E, F, which is cool. You think that Shift Command G would bring up the source code control view, but it doesn't. Right? And so why is that? Because it's bound to something else. It actually doesn't look like anything is happening when I press that. And the reason for that is it's bound to something else. And so we can go figure out what that is by going into our keyboard shortcuts. So keyboard shortcuts are basically all the commands inside VS Code that are bound to key combinations. And you can edit and add and modify these all you want. And so if you want to figure out what something is, you can come in here and say Command Shift G. And we can see that actually Command-Shift-G is bound to find previous, which is a very common key binding, so we didn't want to override that. So if you're in the editor and has focus and the terminal has focus, then you're going to actually do find previous. And so we can actually find out what the SCM is bound to. So view show SCM, it's actually on the Mac, it's Control-Shift-G, right? So if I hit Control-Shift-G, we'll bring up that key binding. All right, so you can come in here and you can start to understand where the bindings are. You can see where there are conflicts, and then you can modify them as well. Right? So I had to keep pressing F1 to toggle screencast back and forth. If I want to come in here and say screencast, And I can see, all right, there's toggle screencast. It does not have a key binding associated with it. If I click on the plus, I can associate one. It's going to say, what do you want? And I can do a key combination or key chord. I'll do Command S and then just C. Right? So then that's going to bind that to Screencast mode. So now if I come in here, I press Command S, C, that basically turns it off. As I type, nothing happens. I press Command C again, and now it's back on. We can see what happens over here in the JSON file that basically lists all of my key bindings. Down at the bottom here, it says, all right, whenever I hit Command SC, I want to run this particular action in the environment. So a pretty simple way to do these things. I've got a few other ones that are bound up here. So Command R. So if I press Command R, I get a quick list of all the different folders that I've opened in the past. And if I press Command R multiple times, it actually cycles through them. And the reason for that is, I'll show you right here, it says Command R when in quick open. So that drop down that comes up is also called quick open underneath the covers. It'll actually execute the command, which is to navigate next. So I have this quick way to work through those. F6, which is to reload the window. I have that working except when it's in debug mode, because debug mode means pause. And then the other thing that you can do here is do things like bind text to running selected text in the terminal. So if I come in here and just add a little bit of stuff, and I say ls minus L, and I highlight it, and I hit Command tick, you see it actually executes that code or sends that text to a terminal and does that. So I can set up these bindings to sort of automate and make it much easier for me to navigate the environment. Oops, here, you go away. See, this is sometimes where screencasting gets in the way. Okay, so why are you doing that? All right, so that's some key binding, which is pretty cool. So we've got that done. Let's go back over here, and I want to show you a few other things you can do in the environment. All this stuff, by the way, is in a repository, which I have a link to in the end of the slides. It's just a large markdown file. It has all these different tips in it. So the other thing I want to go and show you is sort of what can happen over here in the sidebar. We call this whole area the sidebar. If I right-click on it on the top, I can say hide sidebar or move it to the left or to the right, which is that setting that we had before. I can right-click and just do that if I want to. So we'll move it back to the left. But what I can do here is if I come up to the Explorer and I right-click on Open Editors, or any one of these sashes, I can actually hide them. So if I don't like to see open editors, I personally don't. I have it turned off. I turned it on just for this demo, because every time I open up a file, the whole list on the left-hand side jumps up and down, and I don't like that. So you can actually just right-click and turn those off. And if you have multiple sashes that are in here, you can actually pull them around and reorder them to be the way that you like. A few other interesting things you can do here in the Explorer. If I come in here and I say New File, I can type in something like foo bar index HTML. It'll actually go and create that whole folder structure. Come on. What did I do? New file. Foo bar HTML. Hey, why are you not doing it for me? All right, maybe it's the /. There we go. All right, so it created the whole tree folder hierarchy for me and created the file just in that particular folder, which is pretty cool. The other thing we can do in here is I can right-click on a particular file and I select it for comparison. And then I can go find another file and right-click on that and I say compare with selected. And just like we saw from running from the command line where I compared two files, I can actually go through and compare these files side by side right from the tool. A couple other things over here on the activity bar, I can right-click and I can turn off icons that I don't like. So if there's something that an extension contributes, I can turn that off. I can move these around. I can drag them up and down. And down here in the status bar, a lot of extensions contribute stuff to the status bar. You can actually come in here and right-click on these, and you can say, you know what, I don't want to see the tweet feedback smiley face, or turn off different things inside the tools to kind of customize your environment. OK. So that's kind of how you can sort of quickly navigate throughout the environment. Let's go see what you can do in writing some code. What I'm going to do is I've got a project here. I'm going to go up to app.js. And I'm going to bring up the command palette again. But actually what I'm going to do is press Command P. Oops. Command P. And what Command P does is gives me a list of all the files inside the workspace and lets me do like a fuzzy search. So I can come in here and say, you know, all right, are my CSS files available? Yep, they are. And over here on the right-hand side, you can see this box. What that will do is open up that file to the right-hand side. That creates a new editor group. If I do it again and I want to say, I want to find all my handlebars things, and I can open up that one to the right-hand side as well. I can clean up the environment a little bit by hiding the Explorer view. And now I have sort of my HTML or my JavaScript, my CSS, and my handlebars all in one place. If I hold down the Alt key, you can see up here in the upper right-hand corner that splitter box actually turns to horizontal. So that way I can come in and split things horizontally however I want. And of course, you can drag and drop these all over creation. There is a button in here that you'll see, this stacked X, which close all editors. That's actually an extension written by one of the guys on the team. It's called the close all extension. Why it's not a part of the core product, I have no idea. But it is there for you to use. OK, so that's kind of how you can navigate through those. If you press Command and Control, you'll navigate between the different editor groups. Let's go back here. I want to get back to my app.js. And a few things that are going on in here that are pretty cool. So this is just a plain old JavaScript file. But we use the TypeScript language server in the background to provide IntelliSense and completions and things like that. And so one of the things you can do is you can tell the TypeScript compiler to start doing some type checking. So if you want to step into the world of strongly types in JavaScript, you can come in here, and at the top of the file, you can just type in tscheck. And when you type in tscheck, what's going to happen is the TypeScript compiler is going to go, all right, I'll go see what's wrong with this file. And if I press F8, I'm going to navigate down to the errors, and it says, you know, hey, turns out 10's not assignable to a type of string. And that's because TypeScript can go and figure out that I created this variable called MSG. I assigned it a string. Therefore, I intended for it to be a particular string, which I can log. You can imagine if this code was separated out and I tried to use it someplace later and I didn't realize that the type was wrong, this kind of gives me that tip. So I get a little light bulb on top of it. I can do a couple things. Like if I don't like this particular check that it's doing, I can say ignore it, and it'll insert a tsignore. So I can go through and I can start to slowly and gradually move my code to be much more strongly typed and take advantage of TypeScript if I so desire. But because we're also being powered by TypeScript, I can select a block of text, and these light bulbs will pop up. You can always go look around and click on light bulbs, or you can press Command dot. And what Command dot will do is actually bring up a quick pick list and show you things that it can do. So we can go extract this into a function. So it creates a function. We'll say hello. And once I create that, if I hold down the Option key, I can go and navigate to it. And you can see here's the function that it created in the file for me. So everything works really well that way. And another refactoring that I can do is come here, and I can click on the light bulb again. I can say move it to a new file. And then it'll do everything it needs to do to move it to a new file. It'll add a require statement. And if I go back and I navigate to it, you can see that we've created a new file, hello.js, and I can navigate to it. So I've been able to do some slight refactorings there, which are pretty cool in my plain old JavaScript, which means I can start to take advantage of the coolness of TypeScript. OK, a few other things that we can do in the editor. Let's see. Let's go back to that index.html, our index.html file. So we've got an empty file. Has anybody here heard of Emmet, the tooling called Emmet? No one. Oh, one. Hey, are you an Emmet expert? I don't. There's not a lot of people who are Emmet experts, but if you become an Emmet expert, I think you're incredible. So Emmet is basically a shortcut way to go and write a lot of JavaScript code very fast. So if I come in here and I press exclamation point, I'm actually going to get IntelliSense with an abbreviation of what Emmet will go and produce for me. So I can quickly scaffold out a structure of an HTML file. So that's pretty cool. If we come down here into the body, and I'm going to toggle screencast mode off because we're not doing a lot of key bindings here. But what I can do now, if I come in here and I type in div greater than sign, I say UL. You can see over here on the right-hand side, I'm starting to see the abbreviation of what Emmet will go and generate for me. So it's going to be a div with under lists. I can say I want a list item. Maybe I want 5 list items. And then I want a span for each one of those. And then maybe I'm going to have a class name. And when I hit enter on that, it's going to go and scaffold out all of that code for me. So there's like hundreds of shortcuts for Emmet that are built into the product. And you can even do this in the reverse. So if I come here and say this is some text, I can't spell. But then I go up to the command palette and I say Emmet. And I want to do a wrap. I want to wrap that text with an abbreviation. I can do sort of the same thing, but in reverse. So I can say div, and you can see it does it live inside the editor. So I can say div, I want a UL again, another list item of 5, right? And so then I can go and scaffold that out immediately and very quickly inside the tool. So that's a very fast way to come in here and write HTML, and I think it does CSS as well. Another couple of cool things you can see here, we've added just recently. If you bring up IntelliSense in HTML, we actually provide a reference to the Mozilla Developer Network, and so you can jump over there and get sort of all the information you need about those. But the one that I'm really proud of is if we come in here and we do an area class, which is basic for accessibility for the web, we actually bring in links to the area documentation as well. And the whole goal here is really to help people create a better web and a more accessible web, which is pretty cool. We're pretty proud of that. OK, so that's kind of what we can do here in CSS, HTML, JavaScript. Yeah, I got all the editing stuff. That's cool. OK, so let's move on to the next thing, which is mastering the terminal. OK, so by default, you can hit Command-Shift-C, and that'll open up the external terminal, so whatever your external terminal is. And by default, it'll pass in or set up the workspace folder that you're in, which is nice. But most people like the internal terminal, the integrated terminal. So I can press Control backtick, and that will open up the, we got to go and reload the window because I don't want it to be on the right-hand side. There we go. So now that we've got the terminal open, there's a few things that I can do. Again, I can come in here and I can split. I can create multiples of them, right, of the terminal right in place. If I click on this drop-down list, you can see I got Z shell, Z shell, Z shell. And that's because my default shell here on my Mac is the Z shell, preparing for the next wave of Apple, whatever they're doing. But I can come in, if I've got multiple shells set up, I can come in and I can choose which one I want to have as my default. And it's especially useful on Windows because it gives you pointers to PowerShell and things that are basically on your path. And so the other thing I can do is go back to the command palette, press question mark, and there's another action here called term. And term will show all of the open terminals that are running on the machine, right? And so Z shell is kind of a tough name to follow, but I can come in here and I can actually rename it. So I can say, well, this is my build terminal, this one is my test terminal, and this one is, you know, whatever. And now when I come back down here to the terminal, I've got basically the three, and I have a much easier way to see what's going on in the tool. All right, so that's pretty cool, pretty basic stuff, but you know, if you really want to be a terminal master, you have to get into tmux. Who here uses tmux? Anybody know what tmux is? It's a terminal multiplier. It's this amazing thing. I'm just starting to get into it, but it's pretty cool. So what I can do here is basically come in. I've started a tmux session. I can do things like top. And if I want to open up another terminal, I just press Control-B %, and that opens up another one. I can do it multiple times, Control-B %. So I've got multiple terminals that are opened up now under tmux. If I want to see which ones I have, I can press Control-B-Q, and that will give me the numbers that are assigned to them. And if I want to navigate between them, I can do Control-B and move arrows back and forth. All right, so that's cool. I've got a lot of commands I can run on tmux. But what's really interesting about this is if we go and we kill VS Code and we start it again, tmux lets you reattach to running terminal sessions. So if I come back here, I say tmux ls, that'll show me that I've got one terminal session that's already running. I can say tmux a, and that'll reattach to it. So even if you have like test build processes, testing, all that stuff running in the background, you can use tmux to basically automate those. And if you come and go between sessions of VS Code, you can reattach back to them. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's kill that and get out of here, get out of here. I'm still in tmux. And so, of course, the last thing, if you are a terminal junkie, then you've got to be able to run the matrix from inside the tool, which is awesome. OK, very good. So next thing I want to look at right now, we've got two more things. The next one is debugging. So I'm going to come over here. I've got, let me close all these things down. I want to show you the most basic debugging experience that you can have. And this is just a simple JavaScript file. I don't have anything magical going on. All I have to do is press F5. And the tool, because of the extensions that I've got installed, they're going to say, hey, how do I run this file? I don't know. Extensions can contribute, or debug extensions can contribute to the fact that they can run a particular file. So all right, what's a node one? It's just going to spin up the debugger, and it'll hit the breakpoint, and boom, right? So I didn't have to do any configuration. It just works. So if you've got simple files, single files, this works with PowerShell scripts, because everybody's a PowerShell developer in here. All you have to do is have the PowerShell file open, press F5, and it'll run it for you without any configuration. So that's goodness. But we can make things a little bit more interesting. I'm going to go over here. There's a folder here called Push the Button. I'm going to right-click on it, and then we have two context menus here, Open New Workbench here and Reopen Workbench here. These are actually commands contributed by an extension that I wrote, which is the greatest extension of all, which basically adds these two commands. Another one, which I don't know why it's not built into the tool. But what I'm going to do is basically reopen the Workbench on that particular folder. Now, this is a pretty basic Express application, Node and Express application. So if I look in here, I've got basically a start script. And if I do something like press F5 in this one, what's going to happen is say, hey, all right, what do you want to do? I want to run the Node app. And it actually spun up. It ran the Node app. And it figured out that it had to run basically bin dub dub dub. And then I have my app running at localhost 3000. Right? And I hit the breakpoint. I don't know why that breakpoint's there. But I hit a breakpoint, and boom, I've got my app that's up and running. So we can even go one step further, which is to say, hey, you know what? I'm not really sure how this application runs, but the tool will go through and it'll figure out sort of what things it needs to do to run it. So that's a basic one that we can do there. If we want to go even further, we can come over here to the Debug View, which is basically, I think it's a ladybug with an X on the back. Does everybody know what that one is? I think we're going to change it to a play button, so people go, all right, I can run my code there. So we're debating that right now. But what you have over here is the ability to go and configure how the tool will run the app. So I click on the gear. It says, all right, yep, this is a Node application. And basically, it's going to go back and it's going to write down what it inferred before, but it's going to say, all right, you know what? I looked in package.json. I saw a start command, and it said that I have to go and run that particular command. And then I get a list that I can choose from over here, launch program, run it, boom. It's going to go spin up my server, and I can browse to it again. But it's not just a single thing. I can add multiple configurations. I've actually got an extension installed here. It's called the Chrome Debugger. Where is it? Chrome. Debugger for Chrome. And what this lets me do is actually debug client-side code as well as server-side code by default. So I click on Add Configuration. These are all the configurations that different extensions have contributed. So I can say, all right, well, I want the Chrome launch configuration. And we know that this app runs on port 3000. And so what we can do is we can come in here, and we'll just say, node npm start. That'll start up our server. And then when I come back over to my debug viewlet, I can say, all right, well, let's go launch Chrome. And when I do launching Chrome, it's going to actually come up, and it's going to browse that site. And if I've got any client-side code, then I can break into that. Now, since I had to sort of launch these things sort of side by side, that's a little bit tedious. I can do one other thing in debugging. I can come in here and create something called a compound debug. Right? So I just press Control Space. And almost every place you see a JSON configuration file in VS Code, you can press Control Space, and there's going to be IntelliSense or completions for it. And so a compound one lets me set up, I want to run multiple debug configurations at the same time. Again, press Control Space. I want to launch Chrome, and then I want to launch the program, which is the server. And so if we come back over the debug viewlet, and I say I want to launch the compound one, both the server and the browser will be spun up. I can debug both ends of that application. And I know, does everybody know what happens when you press the button? Nobody? All right. We'll see that in the next one. All right, I've got 2 minutes left. I've got one more cool thing to show. This is basically an app. It's written in Node, and I've got Node on my machine. It's pretty straightforward. But a lot of times you run into different applications that maybe you want to try out that are not written in something that you've got installed on your machine. Let me just show you a couple slides here, which will make my point a little bit better. So we introduced a few months back this notion of remote development. And what remote development does is lets you basically develop against a remote container or remote SSH box. And as you saw just recently with the cloud-hosted environments against a remote cloud-hosted environment. And if you've got Windows with WSL, you can develop against that as well. The whole point is setting up a dev box can be a real pain in the neck to go and do. So what we decided to do was take VS Code and we split it in half. So all the back-end stuff, where the extensions run and all that stuff, we've turned it into a server, which you can put on another machine. And all the UI that you see on the desktop runs on the desktop, and it basically connects to it and talks to it over there. What it means is all your development happens in the context of the other machine, the other box, so you get everything that you need, like your Python setup or your Java setup or whatever, without having to pollute your current machine. So there's a whole set of extensions that exist out there. There's an extension pack, one for that has WSH, WSL, SSH, and Docker containers. So I'm going to show you the Docker container experience. So I'm going to come back over here to VS Code and go to the terminal. And I've got a folder called the cat said no. And you can see that, well, it's a little bit small. Code, insiders, dot, and we're going to reuse the existing instance. We're going to open this folder up. And you can see it is a Python app. If I click on the Python file, it says, hey, you know what? You don't have the extension installed. You should go set all this stuff up. Well, I don't want to go do that. I just want to go try out this application. The other thing that this app has is this folder. It's called dev container. There's two files in here. One is a Docker file. And a Docker file basically spins up, you know, it's like a little machine, right? And it's based on Ubuntu and Python, and installs all the Python tooling and everything that you need to develop this application. And there's a file called dev container. And the dev container file does things like sets up your development environment on top of that Docker image that you're creating. And it does things like set up settings, but it also lets you do things like install the extensions or whatever tools that you need. And so once you've got one of these, and you can create them using the tool, you can come down here in the lower left-hand corner, once you have the remote extensions installed, and click on that, and it'll give you a number of different commands that you can run to execute remote things. So if I want to connect to a remote SSH host, if I go to VM somewhere, but we've got a container, so I'm going to say reopen this in a container. So what will happen is it will turn around. You can click on this little details, and you can see that it's spinning up the container. And then it mounts the source code, which is local on my machine, into that container. The VS Code server is in there. The Python extension is in there. Right? So if I come over to the extensions view-let, I can see that the Python extension is installed over there. Extensions that don't need to be in the remote container, like the themes that I have, you wouldn't want to remote all the theme stuff. They're installed locally on my machine. And now what I've got, basically I can come in here, and if I say, you know, print, I get full IntelliSense for Python. I didn't have to install anything, sys.platform. I can come in, I can put a breakpoint here as I expect, press F5, and what I'm doing, I'm actually running and debugging inside this container. Hold down the Option key, click on it. Yes, I want to go to that link. Boom. I'm breaking inside my application. And what's cool is I can see we're actually running in Linux, right? If this was actually running locally on my machine, it would say Darwin was the platform that I'm running on. But it's not. I'm actually running inside this container. Didn't have to do anything in my machine except install Docker. And so now that the app is up and running, we can follow through and actually press the button. Hey, uh-oh, it's broken. There's supposed to be a cat paw that comes in and says no. All right, that's disappointing because that was the end of the demo. All right. I feel like I need redemption though. CD VS Code, tips. Let's see, push, code insiders, bump. I want to run this thing. I'll do compound, we'll run it, boom. Comes up, press the button, there's the cat paw. All right? You can press that all day long, and it does not get tired. So that is it. Like I said, in the slide deck, there are a bunch of good resources that you can go and follow along with. Let's see. Oh, this guy, Andre Casal. He made 492 videos. They're about 1 to 3 minutes long of every setting that there is in Visual Studio Code. It's amazing. Go check out his website and check those out. And then there's also a bunch of links to things like key binding shortcuts. My settings file is in a gist, so you can go and pull that thing apart. The repo that has a markdown file of all the tips and tricks is there as well. And again, if you have any questions, @Chris Dias, just tweet at me, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you very much.